Hello and welcome to Broken Entertainment. So the storyboards for Zack Snyder's original vision for the three Justice League movies has been released, and we're going to go over that a little bit. And I think the first time I talked about this on the channel, I said I thought his plan was to go darker and darker, and then end light, because it was sort of a darkest before the dawn sort of thing. I'd never believed that Zack Snyder always intended everything to just be dark all the time. And I think you see a progression in the movies of his that did come out of things getting darker. And people had a lot of problems with that. They're like, I don't want dark Superman. I don't want dark... I don't want Batman so dark that he's gone over the edge. And those are understandable criticisms. It's definitely not for everyone. But let's get into this vision and see where he really wanted to go. And I think it all would have paid off in the end for everybody, because it really positions the DC universe in a much better place than it started out in. So it says Zack Snyder, this is on Bounding into Comics. Zack Snyder recently revealed storyboards for his version of Justice League, and they offer a glimpse at a story that could never have been contained in just one film. Released alongside other related materials as part of the Dreamscapes of Zack Snyder's Justice League exhibit, an AT&T hosted gallery in Dallas that wasn't actually opened. At the time the images made their way to the internet, Snyder's storyboards offer a glimpse into the director's full plans for the Justice League, as is the general idea behind similar such pre-planning. So, I want to offer a thought here. Disney has made 3 Star Wars movies with no planning. Zack Snyder had all of his Justice League movies planned, and they brought all the characters involved through an arc. So, it's nice to see that. Honestly, it just is. It's nice to see that somebody had a plan for a trilogy of movies, and it wasn't just, let's just see what happens. But that's what you give J.J. Abrams, I'll just mystery box my way through this. It'll be great. Go to hell, JJ. Strangely, Warner has taken to pulling the images from the internet, though their efforts haven't stopped the photos of the storyboards from leaking and being transcribed. I don't know why that's strange, but okay. So they've got all the storyboards here, and they're what you might expect. They're storyboards, but they have transcribed most of this. So let's see. Disappointing because it would have been nice to see some of the plot points noticed on these boards realized, and while it still might, none of it will be interconnected the way Snyder was planning for the DCU. And see, this was a full vision for the DCU as well, not just the Justice League movies. So let's get to it. Some of what was going to happen includes Lex Luthor forming his Injustice League by recruiting Dr. Poison, Captain Cold, Riddler, Orm, and Black Manta. It's possible that Justice League was meant to connect with the Batman, given that the lead villain of the Dark Knight's next outing, Edward Nygma, was going to be involved with Lex. The real Justice League, meanwhile, was going to split up for a bit to deal with their personal lives. Batman and Lois were working together secretly on something, while she helps revive Superman, regenerate, or reintegrate into society as Clark Kent. She's also pregnant. Drama alert. As you may remember, Superman was shacked up with Lois in Man of Steel and in Batman vs. Superman. Well, he's been dead for a while. And people moved on. It's something for people to deal. It's something for him to deal with. It's a character arc that actually gets paid attention to. Whereas in Star Wars or anything with J.J. Abrams, they probably would have just forgotten about it because, mystery box. Wonder Woman would reconnect with the Amazons, while Cyborg would achieve some godlike level of power, which he eventually used to help Barry Allen clear his father's name and upgrade the Batcave. That's later on. Bruce is never home as he's avoiding having to face his own issues, instead spending his time in pursuit of the Riddler. Tracking Nygma to a cabin, Bruce learns he's solved the anti-life equation. However, immediately after this discovery, and at the behest of Lex, Nygma promptly shoots himself. Darkseid would also appear to take the anti-life equation out of Lex's hands. From there, he would enact his plan to break Superman by incinerating Lois in the Batcave. Like I said, it gets pretty dark. um, as for Wonder Woman, she is dealing with her own crisis. Traveling to the Louvre, she consults Penelope, an Amazon who told her about Steppenwolf. Urged by Penelope to use the lasso of truth upon herself, Diana unlocks her mind and foresees becoming the God of War and fighting Superman. So the God of War is a thing. That was a comic book series with Wonder Woman. This plays in the Man of Steel turning evil and doing the bidding of Darkseid, which fully explains the nightmare sequence in Batman vs. Superman. Later on, Lex and the Injustice League strike when Dr. Poison kills the Amazons with a deadly gas, including Wonder Woman, who dies in her mother's arms. Remember when I said it got darker? Atlantis has a less grim fate, but Mera escapes narrowly after Aquaman is overpowered by Orm and Black Manta. Notably, they are all largely absent from the nightmare reality. So was water, for that matter. What's left of the League, Batman, Flash, and parts of Cyborg regroup at Wayne Manor 5 years down the line, with Injustice League 2 ending on a cliffhanger similar to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 or Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. To me, cliffhangers are a very scary thing to end a movie on. You can lose a lot of people that way. At one point, Justice League 3 was actually dubbed Justice League 2A and would have picked up where its predecessor left off. The film would have seen the introduction of Green Lantern, Deadshot showing up to lend a hand to the heroes, and the Suicide Squad member's daughter being turned into a parademon following Darkseid's invasion. Ooh, okay. And here's this awesome shot of all the Green Lanterns and the entire world uniting to fight Darkseid, and that's just pretty cool. Planning to reverse this course with time travel, the team soon realizes they'll need Barry to hop on a mother box powered cosmic treadmill. To do so, an issue considering how hard it is to find one, and they're only able to muster a total of 15 seconds of juice for the device. They get the mother box, but one by one fall to the corrupted Superman, with Batman, the last one standing, getting impaled on his kryptonite spear. Ouch. Before Flash jumps back in time to warn Bruce. Though the team tells him to go back and tell the past Batman, you have to stop Lex, Nightmare Bruce whispers something in Flash's ear that would be more effective. And again, here's another part of that awesome battle sequence. Bad day to be on that aircraft carrier. The more persuasive words are not that Lois is the key, as alluding to Batman in Batman vs. Superman, but that Bruce is the father of Lois's child. She's able to inform Bruce of Lex's plans, and he takes the Omega Beam hit meant for her. It doesn't outright kill him, but he's left critically wounded and dying as a result. I'm going to assume that's because he was wearing armor, whereas Lois Lane was probably wearing a t-shirt. Like Avengers Endgame and Justice League's history lesson, everyone unites to beat back Darkseid, humans, Amazons, Atlantis, the Kingdoms of the Sea, the Green Lantern Corps, and the heroes. That would be so cool to see. In fact, both Kilowog and Tomar Ray can be clearly spotted in the art. Yeah. Hello. The battle really resembles Endgame, with Batman even pulling a Tony Stark and sacrificing himself, proving his rumored death was coming at the end. 20 years then pass. Diana and Aquaman sit on their respective thrones, and Cyborg can transform to look human after becoming essentially a god, and Clark feels more human raising a son he knows isn't his. A memorial is held to honor Batman, and Lois finally tells her son who his real father was, proudly proclaiming that he was a superhero. Naturally, the kid picks up the mantle of the Dark Knight and carries on the legacy. So, I like it. I'm not gonna lie. It gets really, really dark. A whole bunch of major characters die, and then they reset the timeline. But it ends well. It ends on a good note. And It ends on a good note for everybody. And yes, Superman doesn't have a child with Lois, but you know, I think what I would have thrown in there instead. Well, I don't know. They've got Superman uniting with Lois at the end and raising the kid, but that's probably the only sticking point for me. Um, just thinking. So they don't cover it here, but it's on the storyboard that Darkseid's full-scale invasion begins, and it's too much for the Justice League to handle on their own, but they won't have to. Led and inspired by Superman, the countries of the world come together, their armies, their air forces, and their navies. Wonder Woman and her mother lead the Amazons off Themyscira to join the war, and in the oceans, Aquaman pleads with the Seven Kingdoms, declaring there is an eighth, the surface world. And they meet allies. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. Oh, they must be allies, not enemies. The Seven Kingdoms rise to join the Amazons and the surface. Superman unites the world. That's the Superman moment we all want. Superman being an absolute beacon of hope, pulling everybody together to fight off the greater evil. That doesn't mean the world has to stay united, but him actually fulfilling his role as a beacon of hope, I think that's awesome. And that's what we need to see, right? But we don't get it, unfortunately. Maybe we will. Maybe the Justice League Snyder Cut will do so well on HBO Max that they'll greenlight these other sequels. But Zack Snyder had a plan, okay? And it got darker and darker, and then it ends with light. I think still that it was too rushed. Even with these 3 movies, it would have been too rushed. And I also think that to do Zack Snyder's vision and do it in a way that would have kept more people instead of upsetting people with how dark it was, you start off lighter. If Man of Steel had been more along the lines of the original Superman movies in terms of its tone, and then stuff gradually got darker from there, I think that would have been better. But Zack Snyder has a tendency to start dark and go darker before he gets lighter. And it's one of those things where you just kind of have to understand Zack Snyder's tendencies. And if you don't like those tendencies, then you're not going to like his movies, and that's fine. As for me, I really hope these get made. I don't think they will. I think even if it does well on HBO Max, I don't think Warner Brothers wants it to do well, and I don't think they want to acknowledge it more than they already have. But we'll see. And let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this plan, if you don't like this plan, what your sticking points are. And if you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. And I will see you next time.